Hello everyone, what's up? Moses here, bringing you another of Exile video. Now, I want to say a couple words. I've been getting a lot of kind of like harsh comments, so I want like people to understand where I'm coming from. You know, I used to play a lot of Diablo 3. I'm pretty new to Path of Exile, and I have a very specific way of playing the game and like getting my own learning process and my own kind of like rhythm to get into the game. And so, as such, I haven't been playing the game for like 5 years. I don't know every trick and little unique item gadget that's in the book. So I'm kind of like learning things and progressing. These videos, I mean, you could totally follow my builds. I made a couple of builds that worked and reached end game and killed everything. Cool, but I mean, some of those builds are not necessarily going to be the best. It's just my way of learning and kind of like progressing and kind of like, getting familiar with the game as much as I can. So, as such, some of you may see things here that you will not like, but you know what? That's life. Not everything is going to work out the way you like it to be, and you just gotta have to accept that. So yeah, after that long introduction to the video, I would like to show you my Frostblade, Molten Strike, Marauder. I went with the Juggernaut because I never played this Ascendancy before, and people have been saying it's pretty strong. I don't know. I've played some stronger characters in the past, and this one took a little bit in order to work. I first wanted to go with the crab set. I managed to six link this chest luckily, and I wanted to go with this Frostblade enchant, and just kind of like wanted to go with this type of super tanky character. I did not really account for elemental damage. So what ended up happening with the Marauders, Juggernauts, endurance charges, and crab barriers that you're getting from this aspect of the crab, um, the character ended up having like, I don't know, maybe like 90% physical damage mitigation or something like that, or very very close to that, and ended up just not caring whenever any type of physical damage would hit. Um, it wouldn't even matter. Like my health bar wouldn't even move. But when elemental damage started coming in, the character started struggling pretty hard. And you know what? I died quite a bit of times. Quite a bit, yeah. Quite a few times. So I ended up just ditching this entire idea and went with the lore weave that provides with maximum all res of 80% as well as a bunch of damage mods for this particular build. Life, mana, plus to all attributes, some rarity, and already comes with 6 sockets. You know what? So yeah, I mean it's armor, energy shield, body. Overall, it feels amazing. Like the change transition feels pretty good in order to kind of like still trying to feel more tanky. Because we are Juggernaut, I decided to go with the Arctic armor. A lot of people would, choose to use some Herald skill over here, but I decided to just go with the Hatred aura for damage and the Arctic armor for physical and fire damage mitigation. Alright, so we're using Frost Blades for clearing, we're using Molten Strike for a single target. I got this nice sword for, I don't know, maybe 30-35 chaos or so. It's a 5 link with, I don't know, about 400 something DPS. Um, it's got that accuracy implicit. Not particularly ideal, but that's kind of like what I could find on PoE Trade when it comes to high DPS 5 link swords. I didn't want to go into some insanity. It was still pretty early in the league, and currency, something to gotta think of. And this sword does quite nicely. I was able to kill pretty much everything up until tier 14, tier 15 maps. There starts pretty much the struggle. But the character is only level 88, leveling it up a little bit more. A lot of the gems don't have the quality, um, you know. So a bunch of stuff that we can fix and improve later on. So yeah, let's go over the links. We got the Frostblade for clearing with Ancestral Call, multi-strike, elemental damage with attacks, physical to lightning here. Since we crit, you know, that extra damage as lightning will allow us to shock enemies, which will increase the damage they take. So that feels pretty good. The sword itself also has onslaught. So essentially I don't really need to use this silver flask, but it's a new addition, and I'm probably going to end up using some either another life flask or something like Vessel of Inktar, Taste of Hate, uh, Dying Sun for the additional projectile. Anything that could be used in order to replace the onslaught, because we don't need it since we already have it from the sword itself. As of the Molten Strike, we're using inside the Lore Weave. Managed to 6-link it with multi-strike, elemental focus, conk effect, added fire, and elemental damage with attacks. In the helmet we have cast when damage taken, increased duration, and feeble. The increased duration linked with Val Haste also affects that as well. For movement we're using Blood Magic with faster attacks, Fortify, and the Leap Slam. And we got Ancestral Protector for the attack speed bonus, Arctic Armor, Hatred, and Ice Golem for the extra crit chance. Yeah, the gear is pretty standard stuff, rare stuff with, you know, physical damage, some fire damage, life, the intelligence that we need. Which one of these? Yeah, conk effect requires 111 int, so you need to have a little bit of int there to be able to equip it. 109 I believe is what the build requires in the end game for conk effect to be able to run with that Molten Strike. We got the Stygian device here with some elemental damage to attacks, as well as a little bit of life, some move speed boosts that, you know, have some good life roll, the resistance we need, good strength. Yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the gear. You can see what we have here. Elemental damage attack, some crit multi, the intelligence we need. And yeah, we have the adrenaline flask for movement speed again. Flasks are all about, you know, whatever you guys want to do. Feel free to change it up. We just need that heat removal for warding removal and staunching removal. So yeah, Series Promise helps a lot, of course, with that chaos damage and good damage output as well. When it comes to the tree, we are using the Juggernaut Ascendancy. I went with Undeniable first, but, you know, feel free to choose whatever you feel is right. I went with the Undeniable, Unflinching, Unrelenting, and after Uberlab I did Unbreakable. Okay, so starting out, you can level up as Sunder, and then you'll start out with the physical damage nodes like I did, and in the end you'll respec, because physical damage is not really helping us, as Molten Strike and Frostblade are mostly focused on the projectiles, not the actual hit, the initial hit with the weapon, so it's mostly about the projectile damage. So we're going with the life nodes in the end game after that respec, once we finish leveling. The life nodes, and then, you know, bunch of life, the two-hander, whatever weapon you choose. You know, you can run this build with one-hander, you can run with two-handed mace, whatever you get your hands on and has some good DPS. So yeah, bringing in the life nodes, all these endurance charges, the wildfire for the Molten Strike, of course we use 2 of them, only one fight for survival. For the extra projectile speed, it gives us more clear with frost blades. Just about to get into Blade Master, and this in the very end game, but of course we want to pick up all the life nodes from the tree, some crit chance, some more life, that constitution here, and then yeah, all the projectile damage from over here. Some more, the Jewel Socket, the Golem's Blood, the Life Leech nodes, 1 mana Leech node, as well as Point Blank. Important to notice that we also use Iron Grip. We don't have too much strength, but whatever we do have, for a couple of points we're getting some life nodes, and I felt it's important to have it. That increase to physical damage from strength applies to projectile attacks as well as melee attacks. So both Molten Strike and Frostblade will benefit from Iron Grip. Point Blank is huge, of course, goes without saying. For this type of build, we have Thick Skin for more life, elemental damage, primeval force, and a big cluster, Fatal Blade, Brutal Blade, and some life nodes over here. That's pretty much the build. When it comes to the order of how you kind of like level up, feel free to do whatever you feel is working out for you. The way I did it was, like I said, I started with the physical damage nodes and respec later. But yeah, you start off over here, pick up these two-handed nodes, some life, and you go directly into the wildfire, and then you stop. You go down here and you go directly into the other wildfire, and now your Molten Strike is going to start doing some solid single target damage. Yeah. Then I went to the third jewel socket fight for survival for the Frostblade. Went into Point Blank, went into Iron Grip straight up, and then started going into the Fatal Blade and Brutal Blade, Herbalism, and then picked up all these life nodes, completed the Fury Bolts. Oh, the Life Leech I picked up a little bit before that. And yeah, filled in the Constitution nodes, later on the Crit and Endurance charges, Devotion with the extra life, and that's pretty much the build. The character still pretty early, about to hit level 89. I mean, it's going pretty okay. Died about 20-30 times overall with this character. Now, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it about the build. It's pretty straightforward, pretty nice overall, pretty fun. But I'm not going to be playing with it all that much. Just for a little bit, something to distract us and starting to make a new build. That was the point. Just having a little bit of fun, and mostly as unfortunate. Oh, we got some of these Goliaths. We need to. Yeah, we need to pay attention with these guys so we won't get ourselves destroyed here. There's a Harbinger. Looked like it. So yeah, the character is pretty quick, as you can see. Doesn't have too much movement speed on the boots. It's only 20%. With an adrenaline flask, everything feels a lot quicker and smoother. There it is. Gonna pop our Val Haste. This is tier 10 Orchard map with yeah, a couple of Harvingers. Overall, the build didn't start struggling up until yeah, those tier 15 maps and such. When ooh, Harbinger Shards feels good, man. So yeah, those pretty much those tier 15 maps and such was a little bit rough, but you know, I do have more life now. So I mean, just a matter of a little bit of investment, a couple more levels here and there, and we'll be able to pretty much deal with all the game content. I don't know how much I'm planning on doing, really, like farming end game with this, but it is definitely possible. It just kind of like feels bad, man, when your miner is doing so well that you just don't really feel like farming anything else with any other build when it comes to end game. So that's pretty much the situation that I'm in right now. Did it bug? Oh, it's right here. So yeah, I mean, Molten Strike definitely does solid DPS against shit, you know, so we got a trophy. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You guys can see the build's pretty solid. This is kind of an easy map, I gotta say, but still, I'm able to clear pretty much everything up until tier 15. I was struggling with a sunken city a little bit. I had a crazy corrupted sunken city, died a couple of times there. Barely made it. did manage to make it in the end. Yeah, it was challenging. That map had Tri-Curse, uh, and Feeble Elemental Weakness, and Temporal Chains, and also had Beyond Mobs, so it was a bit rippy. 8 mod map. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I mean, if the map is not particularly extreme, this character can definitely even do tier 15s or even higher. Other than the 6-link, and I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have any expensive gear parts. It's mostly like this sword was about the sword was about 30-40 chaos, and yeah, I mean the chest I managed to 6-link it myself, so let me get out of here for a second. Ooh. Feels good, man. Damn. The only reason why we're doing this orchard map is because it's the shaper map and I'm trying to, you know, spawn Elder, right? So, I mean, well, it was here before. Where is it? Tier 10. There. So, we did manage to expand the Elder's control. But yeah. Spawn. Come on. So yeah, the 5-link definitely starts struggling on like those super high tier maps. The 5-link of the Frostblades, but I mean, as long as the maps don't have like 50% more, the monsters have 50% more life or something insane like that, then you should be fine. I mean, even on those high tiers with a 5-link, because are we gonna get teleported? Yeah, rip the Val haste. It's fine though.
Tread no further, villain.
That is happening. Shaper map. True, true. I forgot to turn on my blood rage. Never mind, never mind. I am after a night shift. Pretty tired overall. Just got back home recording this video, so there we go. So that was the boss. This was the build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you care, that's the hybrid Sin Innocence body armor. We got some Sin or Innocence boots, hybrid gloves, Innocence weapon effect, hybrid cloak, Innocence helmet enchant or effect, and then Redeemer helmet, which feels pretty good and solid. So almost all Sin and Innocence mystery boxes over here. So yeah, this was the build. That was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Under 20 minutes. Wow. An entire build. Thank you very much. See you guys on stream. Bye bye.